Well, believe it or not, this is a natural phenomenon. You see, when a comet comes near the sun, one side of the comet facing the sun heats up. Outgassing occurs on that one side that faces the sun, and it creates exhaust. So here you have this weird situation where the comet has a tail pointing away from the sun, but it has an anti-tail pointing toward the sun.
Avi Loeb, meanwhile, out of Harvard, believes that 3I Atlas may be revving its engine. Any thoughts on that?
Well, there's a possibility.
New images show at least 7 distinct jets erupting from the surface of the interstellar object 3I/Atlas. Some pointed toward the sun, others pointed away. That tight, stable alignment has shocked researchers, and it raises a possibility no one can ignore. If these jets are actually thrusters, a technological object would maintain exactly this kind of orientation. Before we go deeper, quick pause. If an interstellar object suddenly started steering like a Tesla on autopilot, would you be calm, or would you already be Googling, do helmets work in space? If you love stories where science gets uncomfortable, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. 3I/Atlas remains one of the most closely watched intelligence targets of 2025. Its path is hyperbolic, proving it came from outside the solar system. It also shows persistent non-gravitational acceleration, a signature that doesn't match simple comet physics, too. But the real turning point came with data from November 8th. Imagery revealed a complex jet system, more structured than any typical cometary outgassing. Even more unusual, several jets appear as anti-tails, pointing toward the sun instead of away from it. Comets don't behave like that. Solar heating should push material outward, not toward the sun. Tell us in the comments, does this look like natural comet behavior to you, or do these anti-tails feel more like a cosmic software glitch? Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb immediately highlighted the anomaly, arguing the jet geometry could be consistent with thruster-like navigation rather than random venting. NASA and ESA continue to classify Atlas as a natural but unusual comet. Critics like Jason Wright and NASA engineer Davide Farnocchia insist the acceleration can be explained by normal sublimation as the object heats up. But the national security angle is unavoidable. The Pentagon's involvement and NASA's refusal to release certain data suggests the object is being treated not as a scientific curiosity, but as a potential non-human manufactured asset in our solar system. Drop a comment below. If this were engineered, do you think it's observing us or just passing through and judging our internet comments? Atlas will make its closest approach to Earth on December 19th, 2025. According to Loeb, the key test will be measuring the velocity, mass flow, and composition of the jets. Only then can we determine whether they come from natural sublimation or engineered propulsion. Think about the stakes. We're watching an interstellar object with non-gravitational acceleration and a jet structure that breaks standard comet physics, and its closest approach is only weeks away. This is a deadline. Either we get spectroscopic data proving it's a natural comet, or we're looking at an engineered propulsion system operating inside our solar system. The political pressure is escalating fast. The scientific uncertainty around 3I/Atlas has now collided directly with Washington. After the U.S. government shutdown began on October 1st, 2025, NASA failed to release the latest imagery and data on the object. That silence triggered an immediate backlash. On October 31st, Representative Anna Paulina Luna sent a formal demand to NASA's acting administrator Sean Duffy, insisting on the release of specific records and images for independent analysis. Her argument was simple. Information about an interstellar visitor is too important to withhold. Both NASA and the Pentagon have been pushed into closed-door briefings with House lawmakers. The involvement of the Department of Defense and the refusal to release key data signals something bigger. The U.S. government is treating 3I/Atlas not as a scientific anomaly, but as a potential intelligence and national security issue. Withholding data while speculation grows creates a weaponized information vacuum. It inflames geopolitical anxiety and forces Congress to demand oversight. The question now is unavoidable. Should NASA be required to release all 3I/Atlas data immediately, or does classification protect legitimate national security interests? Comment below. We're featuring the strongest transparency takes. The UAP disclosure context. The urgency surrounding 3I/Atlas sits on top of a broader shift in how the U.S. handles unidentified anomalous phenomena. The conversation has moved from scattered anecdotal sightings to a structured national security framework focused on protecting witnesses and improving data quality. Following the September 2025 House hearings, military personnel, including Navy Senior Chief Petty Officer Alexandra Wiggins, described encounters with orbs and craft displaying capabilities beyond current weapons systems. Lawmakers responded by pushing for whistleblower protections and better technical reporting standards. The UAP disclosure context. The urgency surrounding 3I/Atlas sits on top of a broader shift in how the U.S. handles unidentified anomalous phenomena. The conversation has moved from scattered anecdotal sightings to a structured national security framework focused on protecting witnesses and improving data quality. Following the September 2025 House hearings, military personnel, including Navy Senior Chief Petty Officer Alexandra Wiggins, described encounters with orbs and craft displaying capabilities beyond current weapons systems. Lawmakers responded by pushing for whistleblower protections and better technical reporting standards. Today's government acknowledgement of UAP phenomena retroactively validates concerns that past dismissals may have been less about science and more about suppression. The push for standardized objective data today isn't just about the present, it's about shaping the future, enabling AI-driven analysis of anomalous physics and giving investigators the tools to decode potential non-human technology. The physics of field-coupled propulsion UAPs, showing instantaneous acceleration, silent operation, and no observable inertial effects, cannot be explained by any form of reaction mass propulsion. The only models that fit the observations involve manipulating spacetime itself. The best-known example is the Alcubierre warp metric, a theoretical solution to Einstein's field equations. It achieves apparent faster-than-light travel by contracting space in front of a craft and expanding space behind it, allowing motion without exceeding light speed locally. But this requires a major obstacle, a configurable, negative energy field, sometimes described as exotic matter. While exotic matter hasn't been proven, the Casimir vacuum field offers one theoretical way to generate negative energy. Beyond metric manipulation, other research suggests that momentum could be exchanged with the quantum vacuum by energizing coherent matter at high densities. This would leverage gravitational vacuum fluctuations far stronger than what traditional Casimir effect predictions allow. Why this matters for 3I/Atlas. If 3I/Atlas is using controlled thrusters, they are not chemical rockets or ion drives. They would require physics consistent with momentum exchange with the vacuum itself, a real theoretical pathway that matches its anomalous non-gravitational acceleration. Vacuum decay and the Schwinger limit, another extreme energy mechanism, involves directly manipulating the quantum vacuum. The Schwinger effect predicts that ultra-strong electric fields can create electron-positron pairs from empty space. This causes the field to decay and releases huge amounts of energy. The challenge: the required fields are far beyond anything humans can generate. Research uses analog systems, like superfluid helium, where vortex-anti-vortex pairs mimic vacuum pair production, to understand the underlying quantum tunneling processes. This leads to the most important implication. If an advanced craft can manipulate the quantum vacuum, the breakthrough isn't the propulsion system, it's the energy source. Mastering high-density energy generation, or conversion, would instantly transform global energy security and eliminate dependence on terrestrial fuels or minerals. Scalar resonant mobility systems. To explain UAP flight characteristics, instant acceleration, no sonic boom, seamless air-to-water transitions, researchers have proposed scalar resonant mobility systems. This model unifies observed behaviors by assuming a craft can interact with a fundamental scalar field that modulates inertia. Doing so would effectively switch off inertial forces, allowing extreme acceleration without harming occupants or the craft's structure. In this framework, the craft isn't accelerating through space, it's displacing the local space-time metric, creating a controlled bubble that moves independently of conventional aerodynamics. Academic literature now proposes symbolic models for this kind of field-coupled warp propulsion, rooted in coherent field interactions and vacuum engineering. Achieving inertialess motion or superluminal displacement requires precise metric field shaping, coordinated photonic energy pulses, and synchronization with the vacuum's electromagnetic gravitonic structure. Engineering such a system demands solutions in transformation optics, field resonance tuning, and stability control. Proposed components include perimembrane skins, capable of acting as energetic spacetime interfaces, vortex, electromagnetic dipoles interacting with a 4D scalar lattice. These elements form the theoretical backbone for a propulsion method that does not push against air or eject mass, but modulates the structure of spacetime itself. Precision, computation, and exotic propulsion, extreme performance propulsion systems, whether involving spacetime manipulation, vacuum engineering, or inertial dampening, require perfect timing and field shaping. That means controlling trillions of nonlinear field interactions in real time, a task far beyond today's supercomputers. In other words, functional exotic propulsion is inseparable from a radical leap in computational architecture, implying that advanced AI or non-conventional computing is a prerequisite. This is directly relevant to evaluating whether 3I/Atlas is using principles outside known propulsion physics. The reverse engineering barrier, popular culture suggests advanced non-human technology could be figured out quickly by human scientists. Reality is the opposite. Humanity already struggles to replicate some of its own ancient materials and metallurgical techniques. If a non-human object employs metric engineering, vacuum field manipulation, or physics outside our current framework, the scientific context needed to understand it simply doesn't exist yet. Reverse engineering such an object would require multidisciplinary teams, years of research, discovery of new physical laws, and entirely new information sources. The real challenge isn't replication. It's understanding the governing physics. Why AI is essential, given the complexity involved. AI becomes the primary tool for decoding anomalous systems. Machine learning already identifies rare astrophysical events, classifies supernovae, and hunts unknown gravitational wave signatures without relying on predefined templates. This capability is directly applicable to 3I/Atlas. AI can analyze spectroscopy, jet morphology, and outflow dynamics to separate normal cometary behavior from potential artificial thrust signatures. It's likely that military and intelligence agencies are already using AI frameworks developed for gravitational anomaly detection to evaluate classified UAP data. Strategic advantage will increasingly belong to nations with the computational capacity to interpret anomalous physics, the ability to tell engineered materials from background noise. China's consolidation and the sixth-generation race, China's rapid military restructuring reflects this emerging technological competition. Satellite imagery, August-November 2025, confirms large-scale consolidation of China's sixth-generation fighter development at the remote Lapner test site, often called China's Area 51. Key developments include relocation of the 3E J-36 and the tailless high-steel JSDS/J-50, a runway over 16,400 feet, one of the world's longest, and construction of multiple new hangars including a massive 300-sea structure. This shift signals a move from isolated space plane trials to continuous, high-risk flight testing of advanced combat aircraft. The J-36 appears optimized for extreme endurance, payload capacity, and electronic warfare, while the JXDS emphasizes deep stealth and unmanned teaming. China's sprint pace is now pressuring the U.S. next-generation air dominance program and its crewed F-47 platform. U.S. Air Force officials, including Secretary Andrew Hunter, warned China may field operational sixth-generation fighters first. The strategic question, is China's consolidation at Lapner merely about fighter development, or is it preparation for testing recovered or reverse-engineered exotic propulsion systems? Comment below. Will feature the strongest military and aerospace analysis, a testbed for unknown propulsion. Lapner's newly expanded infrastructure, especially its 16,400-plus fifth runway, signals preparation for platforms carrying highly sensitive, experimental, or potentially physics-defying propulsion systems. A runway of that length isn't built for convenience. It's built for contingency. Unstable test profiles, long acceleration requirements, and emergency recovery for aircraft using unproven field concepts or early zero-point concepts. The timing is impossible to ignore. The strategic convergence. China consolidates sixth-generation prototypes at a heavily upgraded, isolated site. At the exact moment an interstellar object with anomalous acceleration enters the inner solar system, Congress pressures NASA and the Pentagon for classified briefings, and U.S. intelligence treats 3I/Atlas as a potential non-human manufactured asset. This alignment isn't coincidence, it's preparation. Major powers are repositioning infrastructure to respond immediately if the object or any similar anomaly proves to be engineered. The energy breakthrough risk if 3 I/Atlas or any non-human object confirms access to high-density energy conversion, vacuum fluctuation harvesting, Casimir-based reactors, or any zero-point derivative, the entire global order shifts instantly. Because such a breakthrough would eliminate dependency on fossil fuels and critical minerals, enable fighters with unlimited endurance, make energy-independent overseas bases viable, and allow construction of orbital platforms with continuous power reserves, this is the core strategic threat embedded in UAP and NHMO, non-human manufactured object discussions. Energy dominance, not propulsion alone. The physics threshold ultimate confirmation of non-human technology requires hard evidence of physics we cannot replicate. Late 2025, the most critical data points remain: the composition and behavior of 3I/Atlas's jets, and military sensor readings capable of detecting inertial dampening or signatures of negative energy density, or metric manipulation consistent with Alcubierre style or scalar resonance systems. Any verified instance of these phenomena would instantly validate the NHMO hypothesis and trigger a global security crisis dwarfing any current geopolitical conflict. The AI decryption race, China's consolidation at Lappner, and its accelerated sixth-generation timeline create the perfect conditions for a decisive AI-driven technological leap. If China applies superior computational power to analyze retrieved data, using advanced anomaly detection AI to decode resonant frequencies or field coupling signatures, it could achieve the first major breakthrough in inertial dampening. Even a 50% reduction in effective inertial mass would give the JXDS or J36 unmatched acceleration, near-silent energy profiles, and a stealth envelope no U.S. platform could counter. Aircraft capable of pulling 50G maneuvers, while pilots feel 5G would make every modern air defense system obsolete. Tracking algorithms assume classical inertia, remove inertia, and the entire doctrine collapses. This isn't incremental superiority, it's paradigm replacement. The Interstellar Catalyst 3I/Atlas's closest approach on December 19, 2025, is the deadline for clarity. If high-resolution spectroscopy analyzed by AI confirms the object is engineered through detection of non-natural materials, structured exhaust patterns, or controlled propulsion dynamics, global strategic focus pivots instantly. Under that scenario, the U.S. and its allies would be forced to acknowledge the presence of operational non-human manufactured technology. That acknowledgement would likely trigger rapid deployment of classified interceptors, possibly from NGAD or DARPA Black programs, to gather direct data from the object. This confirmation would instantly rewrite the global geopolitical agenda. The center of gravity would move away from terrestrial conflict planning, sixth-generation fighter programs, and autonomous drone swarms, and shift toward rapid technological acquisition and interstellar defense readiness. The discovery of non-human manufactured objects would no longer be theoretical. It would be a strategic fact, forcing governments, militaries, and industries into an immediate race for physics-level breakthroughs. Subscribe for continued coverage as the December 19th approach draws near, and classified analysis of 3-Atlas continues. Like this video if you want more updates on discoveries that could validate non-human technology and potentially trigger a global paradigm shift. And comment below, natural comet or engineered probe? Because what we're witnessing in late 2025 is a convergence unlike anything in modern history. On one side, a political battle over UAP disclosure intensifies. On another, scientists push deeper into exotic physics-scalar field dynamics, resonant mobility systems, vacuum engineering, and, layered over everything, is a hyper-pressurized sixth-generation weapons race between global superpowers. The world is standing on the edge of a new technological era. Strategic dominance is no longer defined solely by engineering. It's increasingly determined by who can master field-coupled propulsion, who can decode anomalies in space-time metrics, and who can deploy computational systems capable of interpreting nonlinear physics far beyond today's models. National security is no longer simply about what an adversary builds. It's about what physics they may have unlocked. That's why the race has become a race of decryption, an intelligence contest defined by who can decipher exotic signatures fastest. The first nation to control inertia, tap vacuum energy, or operate computation architectures that can process complex space-time interactions will reshape global order instantly. And the events surrounding 3-Atlas, combined with massive expansions at classified testing facilities, prove that global leaders are already preparing for this post-physics reality. They have access to the data the public doesn't. Spectroscopic returns, outflow measurements, high-resolution tracking, trajectory models, and terabytes of sensor readings fed through AI trained to detect non-natural signatures. If those systems flag Three-Eyed Atlas as artificial, leaders face an impossible decision. Do they disclose the discovery, triggering global panic and an immediate technological arms race? Or do they classify everything, begin secret reverse engineering efforts, and hope their rivals haven't reached the same conclusion? Either path leads to the same destination: confirmation that a technology using physics we barely understand is operating inside our solar system right now, on approach to Earth. December 19th is no longer just an astronomical date, it's an inflection point. The moment speculation can become confirmation. The moment decades of UAP reports and whispered retrieval programs could shift from conspiracy to strategic reality. And make no mistake, the infrastructure for that moment is already online. LNR, upgraded and active. Next-generation air dominance platforms, built. AI anomaly detection networks, deployed. Congressional oversight, demanding briefings. Military sensors, locked onto the object. Everything is in position. All that's missing is the final data. We're waiting for the spectroscopic signature that doesn't match any known comet composition, the outflow velocity that breaks natural sublimation models, the trajectory correction too precise to attribute to random outgassing, the precise distances of the unmistakable proof that Three-Eyed Atlas isn't just an interstellar wanderer, but an engineered probe built by someone with the ability to manipulate space-time. And it's about to make its closest pass to Earth, while the world's intelligence apparatus watches every second. This is where we are: an interstellar object showing anomalous propulsion, governments demanding classified briefings, military consolidation at remote testing hubs, AI systems combing through every micro-anomaly, and a deadline approaching in weeks. Either we confirm it's a natural comet and move on, or we confirm the presence of non-human technology in our solar system and everything changes. Technology changes, geopolitics changes, human identity changes, and, according to what the military already knows, the classified data is pointing in one direction. The only question left is, will the public find out before the paradigm shift begins, or long after it's already underway? If you're still here, seriously, thank you. You're now part of the rare few who keep up with these breakthroughs as they happen. Before you head out, hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell. It's quick, it's free, and it helps the channel keep bringing you discoveries that might just reshape our understanding of the universe.